Online, WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to some of you. A little bit of cloud cover out there for others. Yeah, I hope your day's going well for you, wherever you might be. We are experiencing a couple of spots here and there where we are seeing a little bit of light rain. Taking a look at the radar up and down the 127 corridor, we're looking at a little bit of snow shower activity moving up toward Houghton Lake and then following I-75. All that movement seems to be running almost right straight north, and not a heavy band at all. Kind of a freezing mix at times in that part of the state. Right now, the activity does not appear to be moving much further to the east. It's staying right along central Michigan, the central part of the lower peninsula, and then moving off to the west. So we'll take that right now. We'll take the sun. Currently 48 degrees at the airport, 49 at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 48. Downtown Bay City is at 48 degrees as well. A south wind gusting to about 29 miles per hour, nothing like it was yesterday. Barometer continues to drop off at 29.64. We do have a low pressure system right now that's generating all the activity. It's over Lake Ontario, but it's fairly substantial low pressure system that has gained a lot of energy over the last 24 hours, and that's the reason why we're getting the backlash of it. It's a fairly strong system. Amounts of precipitation across the state, as we indicated to you yesterday, we really weren't anticipating a lot of precipitation out of that system. And for the most part, most of you saw close to 1/10 of an inch, maybe just a hair more or less, depending on exactly where you were. You get down in and around the Detroit area, though, they picked up close to, well, anyway, 1/3 of an inch, and in some cases, 4/10 of an inch at some of the reporting stations there. Now, Auburn did officially report 14/100 of an inch of rain. Bad Axe had 13/100. Frankenmuth area close to 2/10 of an inch at the airport out in Frankenmuth, which is to the east and a little bit south of the city. Caro did report 2/10 of an inch. Vassar was about 15/100. Cass City was 1/10 of an inch. Then down in Sanilac County, it started to add up just a little bit more. Lexington close to 4/10 of an inch there. Burton and Genesee County, 1/4 of an inch. Lapeer, 1/4 of an inch. Algonac, 1/3 of an inch. Farmington, Whitmore Lake, just barely a trace. Richmond and Macomb County reporting more than 4/10 of an inch. Roseville also looking at right around 4/10 of an inch. U of M up or down in Dearborn, about 4/10 of an inch. Wyandotte better than 4/10 of an inch. Dundee, about 14/100 of an inch. So very spotty as far as amounts of rain go. But for the most part, the heaviest amount of precipitation was in southeast Michigan and also over on the west side of the state, where they really didn't need any more. As a matter of fact, that part of the state has been hit again and again and again with extraordinarily high amounts of precipitation. And yesterday, even though most of the reporting stations were looking at 4 5/10 of an inch, that was 4 5/10 of an inch, way too much. Low pressure system over northern Minnesota right now, moving into Wisconsin. It'll be in northern Michigan overnight and wind up over Lake Ontario during the day on Saturday. That's the second one. The first one, as we said, is over Lake Ontario right now, and that's delivering quite a bit of precipitation in the Appalachian Mountain region heading toward the New England states. Now, there's another low pressure system. We're going to keep our eye on this one. This is over the Canadian Rockies, and it does appear by tomorrow night, about 7, 8 o'clock, that low is going to be scooting from the Canadian Rockies north of Montana all the way into Iowa. And again, that's going to be tomorrow night. Then during the day on Sunday, we're looking for that low. We're going to call it a clipper system because that's what it is. It is going to be moving from Iowa, following the Michigan border, between Indiana and Ohio, and then scooting off to the east. But in the process, it's going to change our weather up a little bit more. So what are we looking at right now? We're projecting a high temperature of pretty much where we're at right now, which is 48. We'll be dropping off as we go through the day. And that's what's average for this time of the year, is 48. So right now we're below average. Tonight, with clouds around, 36 for a low. Sun will set this evening at 5:14, rise tomorrow morning at 7:28. Then tomorrow, clouds. We will have a glimpse of sun here and there, along with some spotty precipitation, especially after midnight tomorrow night. Our high tomorrow, 44. Our low tomorrow night, 33. Then on Sunday, cloudy, spotty precipitation. I'm not saying rain. I'm not saying snow. I'm saying spotty precipitation. Easy for me to say. High temperature, the problem, 36 degrees for a high on Sunday. We will have moisture in the air. So debatable right now exactly what it's going to take the form of. But as we've mentioned for the past couple of days, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we get some icing out of this thing. 27 is our low on Sunday night. We're not anticipating any moisture, but with the moisture, which could accumulate up to as much as a couple inches on the grassy surface here in the Great Lakes Bay region, it is going to create slick highways and sidewalks, anything that's asphalt or cement. It is going to build up just a little bit. So be advised, we could have some slick roads on Sunday night and into early Monday morning. Now, Monday's going to warm up. We should be looking at about 42, 43 degrees with partly cloudy skies. So whatever we do get on Sunday is going to go away. 28 for a low on Monday night. Then on Tuesday, we're going to start the warming trend. Middle 40s on Tuesday, upper 50s on Wednesday, and then back into the mid to upper 40s on Thursday. During that period, after whatever we get on Sunday, the best chance of precipitation is going to be on Wednesday, more likely later in the day on Wednesday and Wednesday evening. Record high in the state is 69. That was set back in 1902. The record low was 8, and that was set just a couple of years ago in 2019. A year ago today, 51 was our high, 30 was our low. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. We'll take a look at the markets here in just a moment. Cody Harris standing by. But before we do all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Hilleshog Seeds. All right, get that fancy camera, that fancy phone, I should say, out and get out the camera and start taking some pictures, okay? And then send them to hilleshog.com. The reason why? Well, it's the One Sweet Photo contest going on right now, sponsored by Hilleshog. You're going to have a chance to win $1,500 worth of seed, a Traeger smoker, other sweet swag, and in addition, your photo is going to be featured in a national magazine ad. Now, the contest is open through December the 1st, voting going on till the end of the month. Photos with the most wins gets the prizes. So get those pictures in, call all your friends, and tell them to vote for you, all right? For more information, go to hilleshog.com. Along with me, Cody Harris from Star of the West. Cody, what's going on today?
Well, good morning, Terry. Sun is shining, so it's a beautiful Friday here in Frankenmuth. But I will say, within the last I would say a couple minutes, Terry, 2 or 3 minutes, the markets have definitely turned positive in a big way. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, but it's definitely a pretty decent rally to end the week, kind of as we've seen all throughout the week here. Looking at everything the way it sits right now, we got cash wheat that's up 8 here this morning, 786 on the white, 751 on the red. Looking over at new crop 22 wheat, that's up 4 here this morning, 813 on the white, 753 on the red. Looking over at cash and new crop corn, that's up 7 at 527. And then cash and new crop soybeans are the big mover this morning. They're up 20 at 1175.
So things turning around here pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, definitely. It kind of has a little bit to what you were alluding to earlier. A lot of traders are definitely focusing on some weather. You know, kind of the snow, ice, rain that are kind of swirling around the upper Midwest and northern plains early this morning are definitely delaying harvest efforts. And then kind of as we look out, you know, we're still expected to see some showers make their way through the eastern corn belt and into the weekend. So that's definitely what a lot of traders are focusing on, at least here on the corn side and bean side for what's still left out here in the U.S. But they're also watching some weather in South America. It's definitely been beneficial the past few weeks. There's been some rains in Argentina and central Brazil, but that's definitely turning drier next week. And the main concern, talking to a lot of guys, still exists that the emerging and strengthening La Nina weather pattern is likely to lead to some abnormal dryness in both Argentina and the already arid southern Brazil, is what they're all calling it down there. So that's definitely been a driving factor in these markets. But I guess it's kind of diving a little deeper, especially in the corn market. The strength has definitely been on the domestic side. We've seen kind of some impressive margins that exist for corn ethanol producers. I think I was looking back, they had 6 straight weeks of higher production. This week they fell by an unexplained kind of 6% to 1.039 million barrels per day. But even with that, we're still on pace to Terry, 5.5 billion bushels of corn compared to the USDA's current estimate of 5.25. So seeing a lot of strength there. And then as we kind of even move over into the bean side of things, you know, following 3 straight higher closes, everyone kind of expected maybe soybeans might take a break coming in here into the weekend, but that's definitely not what's going on. A lot of it's being fueled by a surging soybean meal market. Meal has risen, I think it was about $40 per ton when I checked this morning since about mid-October. That's really adding some strength to this bean market. In addition to that, palm oil is up here this morning too, adding a little bit of strength to that. But kind of like corn, weathered pattern in South America is definitely a concern. And in addition to that, definitely the domestic demand has been impressive for soybeans as well. Crush margins are still huge, and processors are really trying to clamor for the remaining bushels. And I guess I was just sitting here, Terry, had a wire come across that apparently there's a Zoom meeting between the leaders of the U.S. and China on Monday. And there's some hope that maybe President Xi Jinping of China could ink some bean trade following that meeting as a goodwill gesture. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but I just had that wire come through, so maybe that's the talk in Chicago here and why the market's really moving here.
Yep, that's what it sounds like. Have a good weekend, Cody. We'll talk to you again next week. All righty?
You as well, Terry. Thank you.
A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me. The market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. They are the Great Lakes Bay Area certified ag dealer. All you got to do is stop by and find out why these folks really know what they're talking about. Family and Service sells cars at Schaefer and Beerline since 1852 in Frankenmuth. Doug Klein, what are we looking at now?
Algorithms again. I don't know.
Count me out.
I think it's the big money, of course. They just get on board and they start chasing it one way, and I guess it's good as long as they're chasing it the right way. I thought it was interesting that President Xi over in China kind of said, everything over there in America, that democracy so-called, is pretty much bought and paid for by billionaires. So what you want, you get, but figure it out. It's all bought and paid for. So could be an interesting meeting, I guess, if they have a meeting on Monday, just little words back and forth. But so, yeah, that's really the only market that's moving, actually, is the grains. And, yeah, they're moving northbound. Everything else is fairly quiet. So here's your numbers. The December corn, 576, up 6.5. The March corn is 584 1/4, up 6 1/4. The November soybeans, 1217 1/4, up a nickel. March soybeans, 1250 3/4, up 17.5. The December wheat, 819 1/4, up 6 3/4. And then the March wheat is 830.5, up 6 1/4. Crude oil 80.27, pretty stable, down 15 cents. The heating oil is 242.25, that's down 2.5 cents. Gasoline is 232.18, that's up 4/10 of a penny. Natural gas always is a wild child. It's 4.99.5, that's down 25 1/4. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar still gets you $1.25.52 at the border. That's down 25 ticks. The yen is at 113.86, down 19 ticks. The euro's pretty flat at 114.45, but the dollar's still over 95 at 95.07, but down 10 ticks. Gold's at 1866.20, up $2.30. Silver's at 25.33, up 3 cents. Platinum's at 1083.50. It's down a whole $11.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one, Doug.
Thanks, you too.
Take care. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Andy Bernia is next.
Hi, Deb. Another weekend, more youth baseball. Where's Jerry?
He wanted to come, but he's busy battling brown beet fields.
Cercospora?
Yeah, he went out to spray again. Is your crew spraying?
Just a few times. It's a sea of green this year.
You're kidding.
No, we tried that new CR Plus trait developed by KWS, and it's like night and day.
Really? Wow. You should text Jerry. He needs a new plan.
Maybe I'll just send some pics from the game. He'll get the message. KWS CR Plus trait is licensed to Beta Seed and Crystal Brand Seed.
Peanut butter and jelly, cookies and milk. Some things work best in pairs, like Enlist E3 soybeans from Golden Harvest. Our exclusive varieties have strong agronomics and disease tolerance for your conditions. Get yours from Golden Harvest today for a pairing that performs. This is how we listen. Copyright 2021 Syngenta. The trademarks or service marks displayed or otherwise used herein are the property of a Syngenta Group company. Enlist E3 soybean technology is jointly developed with Dow AgroSciences LLC and MS Technologies LLC. Enlist E3 is a trademark of Dow AgroSciences LLC. All other trademarks are the property of their respective owners.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Tri-County Equipment. They've got winter service specials going on right now on walk-behind mowers, Honda and Steel equipment, walk-behind snow blowers, Gator utility vehicles, residential and commercial lawn mowers. Check them out. Remember, when you're talking John Deere and Michigan's Thumb, as well as Saginaw, Reese, and Birch Run, you are talking Tri-County Equipment, working harder, doing more. We say good morning to Andy Bernia. Andy, you got the mud off your shoes before you walked in the back door?
I sure did, Terry. I finally finished our last plot the other day, so time to clean out my pickup and get all that mud out of there and get ready for the sales season.
It's been kind of crazy, hasn't it?
It sure has. Quite a year, quite a fall.
And it's not done yet. As you alluded to, you got some meetings coming up. When are they going to start, Andy?
Yeah, we're happy that we're going to be going back to in-person meetings. So the REACH seed meetings will be that week following Thanksgiving. I believe they start on the 30th, to be that Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday of that week. And then the Michigan Sugar District meetings are the following week. And then we'll have some of our own, what we call pocket meetings, kind of almost up to Christmas.
Well, producers, for the most part, got to be thrilled with the tonnage that they're getting. I mean, I've heard reports of 50 plus tons, which I've never seen before. This is unbelievable.
It really is quite extraordinary, Terry. This is my 30th year in the business, and we've just never seen nothing like it. And I think really driven by environmental conditions. We had good growing conditions throughout the summer, and then really September and October were just unheard of in terms of being warm and wet and having all the things that you needed for growth. So it just really drove tremendous yield, and I don't think any of us really could have expected it to be as high as it is.
But it is presenting a problem, right?
Yeah, Michigan Sugar, of course, is limited in terms of how much slice capacity they have, and that timeline with storage. So that's a problem. Essentially more beets than they can handle. So as you know, they've implemented a 5% set-aside program. And then in addition to that, they had a buyback program in it, I think up to 7,500 acres. So not 100% sure, but kind of hearing maybe around 5,000 acres in that program. And so that gets their numbers back some, but still just tremendous yield average. We're kind of thinking, based on a few things we're hearing, that it's probably north of 36 tons per acre on a harvested acre basis. So that's just, like I said, unprecedented.
And as you said, a lot of conversation coming up. I know there's going to be a lot of discussion at these meetings. It's going to be pretty interesting here before it all shakes out. Andy, you take care. Have a great weekend, okay?
Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Andy Bernia over at Crystal Hybrids. Along with me, Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Craig, what are we talking about today?
Well, Terry, it's a pretty busy time in our office for our certain department of ours, our life and health department. They're busy with open enrollment and Medicare supplements and all that fun stuff. So just wanted to remind everybody that if they have questions regarding those types of items, we certainly have the people in our office to help you out.
Yeah. For more information, setting up an appointment, whatever, they can give the agency a call, right?
Absolutely, at 800-572-0939.
Fantastic. Hey, you have a great weekend, Craig. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
All right, Terry. Thank you. You too.
I will. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency.
Life beyond the gravitational pull of the city requires a can-do attitude. It takes versatility to accomplish all that needs to be done, and enough power to never get in over your head. The Kubota L-Series tractor pulls up its bootstraps, hooks up to its many attachments, and gets the job done right. That's why it's the #1 selling compact tractor in America. Kubota, shape your world.
The new gas-powered Kubota Sidekick is the first utility vehicle of its kind. With the freedom to roam at 40 miles per hour and the power to haul whatever needs hauling, it's where durability meets speed. Built to get the job done right, with acceleration and handling that blur the line between work and fun. Kubota, shape your world.
Test drive the Sidekick today. See Kim Weiss at Lingle Equipment, 3001 Sawyer Drive along I-75 at the M81 Carroll exit, just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge in Saginaw. Call Kim today at 989-754-7801 or email at k.weiss@lingle1.com.
I'm Sue from Beta Seed. Thanks again for agreeing to this ride-along.
Sure.
Sugar beets are crazy. Did you know they had to be bred specifically to even become an annual? Ours have the best trait spread in too. We grow millions of stecks a year for that.
Stacks?
Baby beet plants. Stecks are key. I could go on and on.
I bet.
At Beta Seed, every seed is fueled by decades of wisdom. It's complex science, which our breeders are pretty excited about.
Hand crossing is the real magic. First,
Beta Seed, breeding confidence.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Thumb Bank, serving the needs of local farmers for well over 125 years. 2 locations in Bay City, also Cassidy, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. If you didn't have a chance, check it out. Go to the Farm Page Facebook and check out the latest edition of Talkin' Beans. Really interesting topic covered. I think a lot of you will get a lot out of it, so check it out. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage. I'm Steve Kathan. Dawn Werner is one of millions of Americans rethinking their future on the job.
The pandemic may have influenced it in that I think it changed my mindset.
And the government says a record number of people, 4.4 million, were like her. They quit their jobs in September. CBS's Allison Keys.
The September number of people who quit is above August, when 4.3 million walked away from employment. That's nearly 3% of the workforce. Some were lured to other positions because of better pay and benefits as employers desperately tried to fill open jobs.
The lawyer for former Trump White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows says Meadows will defy a House